Lori here. I just got back from work and I want to start this reading vlog. I just want to say that I did end up finishing 2 books today, which is really exciting. So I am going to go do my reviews and then I'm going to come back and share that with you guys. It is February 24th, which is the last week of February, and I hope to get quite a few reads in this week. But yeah, so I just want to chat. Hi guys, Lori here. I just want to do a quick update start this reading vlog. Sorry about that. But it is February 24th. It is the first day back from my long week off, which is always a little bit challenging, I'll be honest. But I'm happy to report that I did wind up finishing 2 books today. One was Winterbone House for Vengeance and Valor by Ali Carter. I wound up finishing this one early in the morning on my train ride to school. I have to admit, I like this book. I don't think I loved it. I think I said it in my previous reading vlog. I felt like the world was interesting, the side characters, but the world wasn't really fleshed out as much. I think it was very focused on the mystery, and the first 150 pages was really only April and her journey in the mystery. And I felt like the side characters were so much fun, but they really didn't get pulled into the story until the very end. And I wasn't buying the friendship dynamics between them. But I did like the Annie feel. I think that in future books in the series, I think that those connections can become really simple. But I just wasn't buying the friendship. I wasn't buying it until the very end. And at that point, I think it needed to be there already. So I wound up giving this one 3.5 stars for review. This one does come out, I think, in March. Yeah, it comes out in March. I don't think I have a date. But this is it. Actually, it comes out March 3rd. Everything and its mother comes out March 3rd. But this is another one that comes out March 3rd. So I'm giving this 3.5 stars for review, and it will be out March 3rd. My review will probably be up later because there's a lot of books coming out March 3rd. But if you do like Ali Carter, or you are looking for a book like Ali Carter's writing to give to a younger kid, I thought the mysteries was really interesting. I just wish the story and the world was fleshed out a little bit more. I also wound up picking up Antihero by Kate Kruskrim, Dimitri Luna, and art by Maka Gill. This book takes place in Gotham City because it's like a DC kids graphic novel, and I basically follow these 2 kids, Piper and Sloane. Piper is a soon-to-be hero, and Sloane is the daughter of a villain, the granddaughter or daughter of a villain. And their paths wind up crossing, and they wind up switching bodies, which puts them in some precarious situations. But it really focuses on friendship and these 2 girls finding their own way in the world. I wound up really liking it. I wound up giving it 4 stars. I really like the art style. I really like both characters. I wish sometimes it was a little bit clearer who was in whose body. That was the only thing that kind of confused me a little bit. But I thought that the structure, especially the first half of the book was told, was really interesting because it literally was one panel was Sloane and one panel was Piper, and you just saw how different their lives is. And then by the end, how they both learn from each other. So I ended up giving this 4 stars review, and this comes out in April. So you have a little while for this one, but I actually wound up really liking this one. I got some book mail as well that I wanted to share with you guys. I did wind up doing a trade, and I wound up getting a trade of Heart of Flames by Nikki Paul Prado, which is the sequel to Crown of Feathers. This book is massive. Massive, which means I definitely need to read a detailed summary of Crown of Feathers, but I'm really excited for this. And Entangled Teen also sent me another book, which is Sting, and it's called Revenge is Poison. I think that this is a dystopian novel. I don't know much about it, but I just got it, so I'll probably add this to my TBR for next month. But yeah, so I just want to chat through the books I'm going to read now. I am going to dive into Havenfall by Sarah Holland. I don't know much about this book, but I know that it involves a mysterious inn. I know this is a very quick read. This is another book that comes out on March 3rd, so I'm just trying to get through my March 3rd books that I have on my shelf currently. So I'm going to dive into reading this. I don't know how much far I'm going to make it tonight, but I want to read at least a little bit. And I'll talk to you guys later, at least before I go to bed for another update. Bye, guys. Lori here, I'm back. Sorry I didn't wind up updating anymore last night. I really wasn't feeling that well. I had a bad headache, and again, coming back from a lovely week off, and my sleep schedule gets all messed up, so that was probably why. But I am feeling a little bit better. I did have rehearsal today. Guys, sometimes being a director is hard. I had a wonderful director growing up in high school, and I've been trying my hardest to find a balance between being, being good cop, bad cop, being a good guy, being a bad guy, and I always feel like I lose the game because, getting sixth and seventh and eighth graders to focus is sometimes super challenging, especially when they're so excited and they have so much energy. I just want to like corral that into like like a better element so that they'll stay focused. And it's hard, we have so many time constraints this year, like things that are just out of my control this year, and I'm just trying my hardest to really stay positive and work on as much stuff as I can. But sometimes I feel like I'm just a bad cop. So that is my life update. Hopefully it works out. But today was good in some ways. I actually had all my people helping me in one room, which was super nice and super helpful, and I really, really appreciated everyone that's helping me, so that's great. I did make a little bit of reading progress on Havenfall, not as much as I would like, to be super honest, but I did get up to page 40. This is a really, really short book, but it basically follows this girl named Maddie. She is aware of this inn that her family runs called the Haven, and it's supposed to connect to a lot of different worlds, but at present it's only connecting to 3, which is the human world and 2 other worlds. Her mother, many, many years ago, wound up killing her brother, and her mother is on death row, about to be executed, I think. And her dad doesn't want her to go back to Havenfall, but she sneaks her way back there, and we're just exploring Havenfall for the first time. So about 40 pages in, I'm sure there's a mystery to be had. It's really, really fun. I love Sarah Holland's writing. I love the breakdown of the other worlds that we got, and I'm going to keep reading. I'm on page 40. I would love to get to page 100 before I go head to bed for the night, but we will see. I'm going to try to update before I go to bed. It just hit 8 o'clock, and I have a bunch of talky videos on YouTube that I'm going to watch as background noise, so I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Sorry, guys, this is kind of a weird angle, but I literally just laid down and I realized I didn't tell you guys about my reading progress. I did get up to about page 60 in Havenfall by Sarah Holland. It's definitely a book that I'm really liking. Its world building is a little bit more slower. There's like a lot of like world building that has to happen before the action can occur. It's also a very, very short book. It's not even 300 pages. So I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. Like right now they're at the Haven where all these creatures can come, and there's going to, or all these denizens of these worlds can come for like one night. And they have like a treaty that they're all basically signing, basically. And tomorrow is the summit day, and this girl is back after all the stuff with her family. She's meeting a young boy who she met when she was younger, which I'm really, really liking that, and they're very, very different. So I read about 60 pages. I hope to make a bit more progress tomorrow when I come home. I'll let you guys know. I don't actually have to rehearsal tomorrow, but I have to do something with the other bunch of my cast. So yeah, and then I'm gonna go out to have lunch with a friend, which I never do on a school night. So that'll be nice. But yeah, I'll update you guys tomorrow with how much reading I have done. Bye, guys. Here, it's 8:10. It's much later than normally I update, and I'm a little bit more tired than normal. I did work all day, and then I went to the gym, and then I went to go see a theater friend, and we chatted about our respective classrooms, and that was really, really fun. I also met with my tech crew, which was really exciting. Today was just not my day on like many, many levels, but I have those days, unfortunately, in life, and especially in the life of a teacher, so it was just not my banner day. I did make a bit more reading progress on Havenfall. I'm now on page 112, which is quite a bit of an update from yesterday. This book is really interesting. It basically follows this, I think I've said this before, basically follows this girl named Maddie, and she is like she's involved in this inn called Havenfall, and this haven is like a sanctuary for these 3 lands that are mystical. And Maddie's mom, 10 years ago, is wound up being accused of the murder of her brother, Nathan. And now she has basically been put on death row for this crime, but Maddie honestly doesn't think she has committed it. She thinks of a creature from another realm that used to be connected to this called Solidarian, I think, is the one that committed this crime. And she ends up going back to this haven for the summer where there's a peace treaty coming. Her uncle is the leader, but some things go wrong. The door to this complicated kingdom winds up opening. And she's she's basically being placed in the position to be the leader of this little haven. It's really good. I think the romance dynamics are really interesting, and I really, really like the world building. I think it's being laid out really, really easy. The characters are really, really fun. I'm not flying through it, but that's okay. So I'm gonna read a little bit more, watch some booktube videos, just kind of veg. I just kind of like need that. Tomorrow I do have rehearsal, which I'm excited for. I do like my cast. But yeah, so I'm gonna go read, and I'll try to update you guys before I head to bed for the evening. Bye guys. I'm checking back in. I'm just not in the mood to read tonight. I have a small headache. I'll definitely read on the train tomorrow, but I did read a little bit. I got up to page 122, which is a little bit. I didn't read a lot. But I'm gonna go relax, watch some TV, and just veg out. But I hope to make some progress on this tonight. It's not that long of a book. The pacing is just a little bit weird. It's just not my favorite. But I do like the world, and I will read a little bit more tomorrow. Bye, guys. Right here. This week has just not been my week. It has been a rougher week than I was originally planning. And I think it's because we're back from break, which is always a little bit harder. And just, it's getting to be that time of year where testing is starting to become imperative, and it's never easy being a director. It's never easy being a director with kids that are so energetic, and it's really, really a good thing when you can focus it. But you know what? I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I know that we'll get work done one day. It just may not be the time I want it to get done. But I am happy with the show. I think we made some progress. I am not a choreographer. That's just not what I do. And sometimes I have a hard time articulating what I want it to be. And kids are a lot better dancers than I am, and they have a lot of good ideas, and I'm just not sure how to implement it sometimes. But I did make a little bit of reading progress on Havenfall. This book is just not capturing my attention the way I want it to. I'm on 176. I'm going to try to read like at least 100 more pages before I go to bed. It's almost like 8:30. We will see realistically if that's possible. I definitely fell asleep early last night. Yesterday was not my best day of teaching by far. Today was a little bit better. Rehearsal was a little bit better. But I still have to like articulate what I want, and sometimes it's not easy. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. But I'm just gonna kind of like put my book on or just read and just veg out. I have a nice weekend off, which is nice. I'm really excited about that. Tomorrow's Friday. This vlog was not long by any means, but I will definitely have to add it to the weekend. But I'll update you guys before I go to bed. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Lori here. I just wanted to do a quick check-in on Havenfall. I got up to page 182. There is a theory I now have that I'm kind of convinced is going to happen, and I'm curious to see if it is going to happen. I'm being super vague because I really don't want to spoil it. But there is a twist in this book that if it happens, I won't be shocked. I will be surprised. I won't be shocked. I won't be surprised. But I'll be curious if I like it, depending on how this book winds up, what it does with the twist. But the way she just said something, in reference to one character, I'm kind of debating if I'm right. I am getting a little bit more engaged. I do really like the side characters. There's one plot point that I'm just kind of waiting to happen, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I just wanted to go in here and say if at the end of this video I say that my plot twist totally came true, I will have predicted a plot twist, but I'm curious to see if it goes that way, how she crafts it, because that will see if I like it or not. About 9:30, and I did get to read up to page about 209. I am really liking this book. I think the book has taken some interesting twists and turns. Sorry, this vlog has been horrible this week. This week has just not been my week, but I hope that tomorrow I'll be able to update a little bit more. I don't have a lot of work I have to do. I have to make up some scenes, but we're in the middle of a new unit, so it should be a little bit easier. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow for another update. Hopefully when you see me by next, I should have finished this book. I only have about 100 pages left, so I think by tomorrow I could definitely finish it. So, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for another update. Bye, guys. Sorry my voice is a little bit rough this week, and I had a little bit of some issues with a few of my classes, and I had to raise my voice. I don't love to do that, but unfortunately it happened. Sorry my hair's a little bit messy. But I did make a bit of reading progress on Seven Deadly Shadows. I'm now on page 88. I have to say I'm really intrigued by this book. I'm really happy that I picked it up. It's definitely interesting. Basically, Kira is dealing with an upcoming apocalypse. She's in Japan. Now she has to team up with some demons to stop the apocalypse, which She's working with Shiro, who is a person that used to work at her family's temple or like location. His mom is a demon, and they're forced to work together to save the demon that will bring everlasting night to the whole world. I love their dynamics. I love an adventure or a quest story. That's the same thing I said about Shadow of the Fox. I really, really love that concept. And I love books that deal with a different setting. This is definitely modern. It's set in modern Japan and modern Tokyo. But I'm really liking it. So I'm going to go get dressed. I'm going to go to yoga. I'm going to go get some food. And then I'm going to come back. And then I'm going to read. I have to do a bit of filming today as well. And prep stuff for the end of the month. Since today is a leap year, I have an extra day, which is great. But I'm going to go do my errands. I'm going to come back, film some videos for you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Here, I'm back. Sorry, I look a little bit more awake and my voice is getting better, which is good. But I did make a little bit of reading progress on Seven Deadly Shadows by Courtney Almeida and Valerie and Matini. I'm definitely saying that name wrong. I apologize. I've got up to page 100. Guys, I'm really liking this book. I think it's such a fun read. I'm loving the characters. I've summed up this book like a bunch of different times, but this character is basically on a dual quest to save the world, and one of the ways she has to save this world is to work with 8 gods that really don't want to work together. She's not a big fan of working with the demons either. They're demon gods, but she really doesn't have a choice. She's joined by someone she used to work with at her family's temple, and they're going on this adventure. I'm really, really liking it. I have to do a bunch of filming because it is the end of the month and I have to do a bunch of videos. I also have to set up my Instagram, my blog, film a couple of videos, and then I really just want to read. I said earlier in this reading vlog, this week was really like just a little bit stressful. It always is the week you go back from break. So yeah, so I'm just going to kind of like, it's also really, really cold in Long Island, very, 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 very chilly. So I'm going to go film a couple of my videos, come back, let you guys know my thoughts, or what I've been doing, and then I'm probably going to read for the rest of the day. I'm also trying to be better, and I'm going to listen to Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I really, really, really want to focus my listening in the month of March on Lord of Shadows and Queen of Air and Darkness and Ghost of the Shadow Market, so I can finally catch up on Chain of Gold. I don't think it's going to be possible, but I think I could probably listen to Lord of Shadows. So that's going to be my goal. But I have to finish Obsidio because that's one of the books for the Time Warp by Ava Club. So when I get done with all of those R&D steps, I will come back and let you guys know my reading and listening progress. Bye, guys. It's about 2:30. I did wind up filming 2 videos for you guys. I'm still waiting for the Bookstagram pops to appear. So I'm going to go read for a bit. I did get up to page 100 in Seven Deadly Shadows, and I listened to quite a few chapters of Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which I'm getting to the part of that book that I enjoy more, which is super exciting. So I'm going to go read for a bit and rest my voice because I still do sound a little bit hoarse, and I'm going to come back to you guys probably when I'm like 50 or 100 pages in and let you guys know my thoughts. Bye, guys. Here, it's about 5:13, and I did wind up getting up to page 150 in Seven Deadly Shadows. This world is getting more complicated. The locations keep changing. We're also getting more characters to add to our, our team of heroes, which I'm really liking. I'm just liking the dynamics between the characters. I love this setting. I'm actually normally I sometimes get lost in fight sequences, and it still happens a little bit, but I'm really loving the culture of this book because it just reminds me of like all these Japanese culture shows that I've watched, like from Teen Wolf and stuff like that. So I'm really liking it. I'm loving the focus on female characters. I'm actually liking being in Kira's head. And I just like that I like that the group keeps getting bigger and we keep meeting more people. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna go keep reading. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Here it's 7:30 about. I just had a little bit of a snack. I am still watching a couple of my cleaning videos, but I did make a bunch of progress on Seven Deadly Shadows. I'm now on page 200. This book really does remind me of the Rick Riordan imprint novels because it does deal with like mythology, and I think that this is a great starter novel for someone who wants to deviate out of like middle grade and try some YA, because it does deal with some like, I would say it's definitely a YA book, but it does deal with mythology, and the romantic elements are not as like the focus, which I like. I think it's definitely more focused on the quest elements It's definitely a fast-paced read. It's very much reminiscent of that. I like the group of characters that developed. I think it's very reminiscent of a Rick Riordan imprint novel. I'm really liking the Japanese culture that we're experiencing as well. So I'm gonna go back to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Here, it's 9:08. I did make a little bit more reading progress. I'm on page 262 of Seven Deadly Shadows. I always say I'm gonna stay up late and read, and I never ever do. But I really want to read this book, and I really want to keep reading, so I'm gonna try my hardest. It is getting to the climax of this story. This book is set up over the course of say 3 weeks that lead to the blood moon that leads to an everlasting night descending. Kira and her friends have to develop a group of 7 people that are 7 demons that are basically going to help them save the world. She hasn't found them all yet, as where I am in the book, but they're getting really close, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. I really just like the dynamics between the characters. It reminds me a lot of reading a Percy Jackson book or a Rick Riordan novel. So I'm going to keep reading. I don't know how long I'm going to read for. I would love to finish it. I'm on page 262 and I have to get up to page 376. I don't know if it's doable tonight, but I think it's definitely doable by the end of the weekend. My voice is still kind of shot, but I'm going to keep reading and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, I'm back. It's about 10 o'clock and I did get up to page 304 in Seven Deadly Shadows. I really have about less than 100 pages left. I'm really going to plow through and try to finish it. We have reached the climax of this book. They're still waiting for a couple of elements to come together. I'm really liking the pacing of it. I'm liking the characters. I'm liking the ragtag group of gods that have come together to help take down this evil. I think it's definitely a quest story. I think if you like anime or if you like Japanese mythology, I think this would be a great read for you. I also do stand by my opinion. I think that if you are a newer YA reader but really do like Percy Jackson or the Riordan imprint novels, I think that this would be a great starter novel. And I don't know if it's going to be a series. I mean, right now I think it probably could exist as a standalone, but I'm going to keep reading and I'll let you guys know. But back to reading I go. Bye, guys. Right here, it's 11 o'clock, and I did actually wind up finishing Seven Deadly Shadows by Courtney Almina and Valley and Matini. I did really like this book. I thought the end was a lot of information, and it was just a lot. I think this book was very well in depth, very well crafted. The world was very well crafted. I think the end was a little bit confusing at points. I think that was why I would give it 4 stars for a review. I also love when books give glossaries, but I often wish they were in the front of the book because then you would actually know that they existed. Or a note at the front of the book, check out the glossary at the back, because you never know the glossary exists until you look at the back of a book. But I really liked it. I like Kira as a character. This is definitely a standalone. There could be more books in the future, but I think it was a standalone. It did have an open ending, but one that I think I'm happy with. There was also a lot of elements in this book that really took me by surprise. I like how everything kind of came together in the end. I liked how it really did focus on the Japanese mythology and Japan. It was just a fun read. I'm going to go choose my next read. I may not start it tonight, but I am going to go choose it, and I'll let you guys know what it is. Bye, guys. I did actually wind up choosing my next book, and it is Nightfall by Shannon Messenger, which is the 5th book, I think. Book 6 in the Keeper of the Lost City series. This book, I think, has close to 800 pages in it. So I might be a book that takes me a week to read. I don't know, but I love these books. I tend to read them super fast. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start reading this. I may not read a lot of it tonight, but you know what? I'm on a reading kick, and I'm really loving reading right now. But I'm going to read this. This book is massive, I'll say. This book is a massive book, and I know I really do want to read it all read the next 2 books, because I know Alexa and Maggie have a spoiler episode where they talk about it, and I want to be in that part. And I know Alexa's about to read this one, and so is Super Space Check, so I would like to at least to be on par with them. So the end of this book ended with some big Keefe drama at the end of this book and Sophie drama, so I'm actually going to dive into this. Is the first hardback I have of Pat. It reminds me of reading Harry Potter when you crack the spine on these. But yeah, I'm going to go read. I don't know how late I'm going to stay up, but I am going to read, and hopefully tomorrow my voice sounds a little bit better. Bye, guys. This is Lori here. I'm back. My voice sounds so much better, which is great. Sorry, my hair's a little bit messy. I just got back from yoga. But late last night, I did wind up starting Nightfall by Shannon Messenger, which is the 6th book in the Keeper of the Lost City series. I'm now on page 58. This book is massive. This book is about 800 pages, but it's also like super big print. So I don't know how long this is going to take me. I'm anticipating it might take me until Friday to finish it. I'm also going to see how bringing this to school is going to work tomorrow. If I think it's too big to put in my backpack, I might just bring a backup book, which I picked is Layover Land by Gabby Noon, because that's just a little bit of a thinner book. But I really do want to finish this, or at least make progress on it, because it is middle grade March. But I'm loving being back in this world. It's like going back to Harry Potter. That's how I describe this series. It's such a rich... I think this world is sometimes even more rich than Harry Potter because it has so many different facets. We have some new characters that we're meeting. We have some characters that are being revealed. I can't really say too much about this book because it's spoilers. But if you do want me to do like a series spoiler review eventually, just comment below and I'll happily do it. I just don't want to spoil anyone in the series because I think it's so rich and really you guys should read it and not hear me spoil it. But I'm going to go back to reading and hopefully I would love to get to page 250 by the end of the night. That would be great for me. But I'm going to go watch kind of a relaxing video and then I'm going to go watch some shows that I fell a little bit behind on. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Right here, I am back. It's about 2:16. I did get up to page 88 in Nightfall. Guys, I'm really liking this book. I'm loving going back to this world. Sophie's one of those characters that always thinks of everything. I think I would fail if I lived in a fantasy world because I would not be that forward of a thinker. I would focus on one problem at a time, and Sophie's doing something that she's not that comfortable with, thinking of many problems. She's also trying to save a lot of different people in this part of the book. We're also meeting a couple of new characters, which I'm liking. I'm missing the gang, I'll call them, that I hope we get to see them soon. But I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. It's almost 6 o'clock, and I just end up getting up to page 129 in Keeper of the Lost City's Nightfall. I love how this book takes elements from the past novels and really takes them in a new direction. It's such a layered plot, and everything is so carefully crafted. I'm still 129 pages. This is definitely a slower paced novel. I still haven't met half the characters in this novel. I've only met 7 or 8 of them, but we have met new characters, which I'm really liking. I'm really, really liking it. It's a book that I really fly through. I'm not reading it as quick as I normally do, but I'm also watching TV and stuff. But I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to take another reading break, and I'll come back when I'm up to page 200, hopefully. Bye, guys. Lori here. So I'm back to wrap up this weekend of reading. I wound up reading 169 pages of Nightfall today, which is actually pretty good. I definitely read more than not as much as I thought I was going to read, but I'm really liking this world. I have back to meeting all my characters in it. I like the twist that the story has taken. I like how, again, it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. This is a really, really long book. I am going to try to bring this book, I'm going to try to bring this book to the city tomorrow and see how much progress I realistically make in it. But it's massive. I would like to finish this before the end of the week, ideally, but we will see. But sorry I haven't updated as much this weekend. My voice was a little bit shot. It's still not all the way better. We'll see what this week brings. But I'll definitely update you guys when I come home from work tomorrow. I hope to go to the gym, but I will update you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. It's 6 o'clock. Not even going to talk about my day because it was interesting in good ways and bad ways. But I did make some reading progress, so we're going to focus on that, which is the positives. I did get up to page 220 in Nightfall by in the Keeper of the Lost City series. I'm really liking this book. They did a very unique twist that I'm normally not a fan of. It's not unique, but they did a twist that I'm normally not the hugest fan of. But I will admit I liked how it happened in this book, and I've always said that. I said Shannon Messenger takes twists that you see a lot in YA and middle grade literature and kind of turns it on its head, and I will admit she's keeping to do that, which I'm really liking. I'm liking that this cast of characters keeps getting bigger and bigger, and we're seeing different sides to all these characters, which is something that I really like. So, I'm going to dive into reading, just put my day out of my mind, because I kind of need to do that, and I will check in when I get up to page 250, which was my goal, and let you guys know my thoughts. Bye, guys. Lori here. I did read a little bit more. I got up to page 278 in Nightfall. I think I'm just literally going to turn off all my devices and just kind of read for an hour. I don't normally do that, but I'm kind of in like a weird headspace. So I think I'm just gonna read and see how far I can get. I really do read this book very, very fast, but I think the background noise is a little bit distracting. I've said this before, it's a very, very easy book to float into, but I'm getting to a part of the book that I really have to focus on the details, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read for about an hour, and then I'm probably going to put on Batwoman. So, talk to you guys later. Bye. For the bed lighting, I totally forgot to update you guys before I am heading to relax for the night. But to get up to page 300 in Keeper of the Lost Cities Nightfall, I really am liking this book. It's definitely taking the story in like a really interesting direction. There's a couple of plot twists that I really wasn't expecting, and I'm really enjoying. Elements from the past have come back to like the plot of it, and we're still diving into more things. I think that there are some things lingering underneath the surface. I'm really liking Keefi's character. I'm loving Dex. This book is dealing with a lot of relationship stuff that has been teased throughout the whole novel. There's two really like clear ships in this series, and I'm more in favor of one than the other. Also, this is like my Mortal Instrument tie-in to this. There's always a character like Simon, and for me, the Simon in the story is Dex, who's always potentially in path of getting his heart broken. But I have such a soft spot for those characters, and I really, really like Dex a lot. And I just think it's having like really interesting conversations, and I'm really, really liking that. The magic system in this world is so rich, and it's like such a unique system, especially in reference to elves that I've never really read before. So I got up to page 300, which I think is pretty good. I'm going to really hope to read another 150 pages tomorrow on my commute ride. That's my plan. But my head has just not been in the right spot. I'll update it a little bit more tomorrow if I know a little bit more. But, you know, that's the nature of being a director and living in New York City right now. It's a scary, scary time. So, but you know what? It will all work out in the end. It just has to. The show must go on. So, I'll update you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. I'm back. I worked. I went to a kind of fun PD. Classes are going better, which is exciting. And I solved my rehearsal challenges, so that's actually good. But I did get a little bit of. I actually listened to a bunch of the Illuminae Files book number 3, which I'm actually really enjoying. And I made a little bit more reading progress on Keeper of the Lost Cities Nightfall. I'm now on page 368. I just want to keep reading. It is such a well-crafted world. I'm really curious to see what happens next. I'm also I got a new bed like last night, like yesterday, so I'm getting used to it. It's been a lot harder than my other bed. Like, it's not as like soft, so I'm trying to get used to like laying on it, which is going to take some getting used to. So I'm gonna go read, and I'm gonna try to check in about like 8:30. I'm gonna watch like some YouTube videos, and then I'm probably gonna watch the end of Batwoman that I didn't get to see that episode. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Sorry, here it's about 8:30, and I did get up to page 400 in Keeper of the Lost Cities Nightfall. I'm about to reveal a twist that I've been waiting for, or a twist about to happen. According to Goodreads, I'm about 50% done with this book, but my count's a little bit off because this book has less pages than it is on Goodreads. So I'm probably more like 52 or 53% done, but I'm really loving this. I'm loving how it's expanding the world. I'm loving how the characters are having a lot more conversations. Normally these books are a lot focused on like action and adventure, but there is a lot of talking in this book and a lot of like dynamics, a lot of stuff about relationships and friendships and possibly more romantic stuff. There's a lot of romantic stuff in this book, and there's a lot of different ships that keep sailing. I think I said in a previous clip, I love Dex. Dex is my favorite, and Dex is always like a little bit of a heartbroken character to me, but I'm really, really loving it. I'm going to keep reading, and I would love to, before I leave for the evening, be up to page 500, but I don't know if that's doable. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Here, I'm just checking back in. I'm actually going to wrap up this reading vlog because it went a little bit longer than I was planning, but last week and this week have not been the best content weeks, but I did get up to page 421 in Keeper of the Lost Cities Nightfall, and I'm going to definitely make it my progress to finish this book in the next week. It's much longer than the books that I normally read, and it's just bigger, but I do definitely want to tackle it this week. So I'm going to wrap the reading vlog, and I will start my next reading vlog tomorrow. Bye, guys.